going live. Hey, okay, we should be live. Hey, everybody, welcome back. If you are coming back from the past two videos where we are tier ranking the CCJ universe, and we are here this week to talk about what today? To talk about like everything else before we really hit the heights. And welcome to people who are new to this situation that's going on. I'm Deja Bree. And I am joined by my co-host, which I will let her introduce herself.
I am Mercedes or MJ, better known as MJ underscore the lover girl on Instagram if you're looking for me.
Yes. And how this has been going for people who are just now joining us. So right now we are ranking, like I said, the whole CCJ universe from 3 stars to 5 stars because we don't believe like she can write a book that's under 3 stars in a grand scheme of things because every book is intentional to an extent. Like so thus far we have ranked most of her books right by now, like almost 60. She has a catalog of like 90 something.
Yeah,
Today we have the Connecticut Kings, Atlanta, Texas, and like another random. And so yeah.
let's do it.
This one will be
Um,
like this one we say it's gonna be quick, but like as we try to like remember these dang on books, we're gonna be like, wait a minute, because we always
Glad
try to
you
have a
said that. I was just about to say we're about to yap.
like because we were like the fastest. What the first go around was Blackwood, and Sugar Valley, and it was like 30, almost 30 something books.
And
So we were still able to do like in an hour and a half. And then the last video was Vegas and Cali, and that was like 20 something, and we were still like at an hour and a half. So like go back to those previous videos and watch those lives. The
Mhm.
comments are now on. I don't know why the comments were off.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird. So yeah, tell us your top. Even after all this, because the next one would be basically the last
The,
one,
la-
and because
the
it would be
last
going,
one,
huh?
I said the last one's a lot. This is a
Yeah.
very dense category or section of books. And let me let you all in on a little secret. I've been over here leaning over to whisper to y'all. That first go round, we could have yapped a lot longer. I
Oh
just want you.
yeah. Oh yeah. I
We
was thinking, I was
yeah.
like, yeah. Like after Mahogany Heights, I was like, what if we do like the battle of the 4 stars and up?
Ooh, stay in the CCJ universe and just really duke it out.
Yeah. We
Mm,
could.
we could, because now let's get into some nitty gritty. What? How do we solidify a top 20? You really want to play a game,
No.
or how do we really rank our top 10 or our top 20? How do we create this? Let's
Because
do this.
that's like that's nasty work because yeah, because like I know people are like watching their first video and it was like ain't no way they put Wonder at 4.75, and I'm like, yes we did,
We did.
but we did.
Oh, yeah. And you might need to go read it again because we did.
We did. And so, it's people I know it's like people like, oh, you like this, but I think it just depends on people's taste. And hopefully we as we kind of decided on because some of them we're not even arguing 5 stars.
No,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? Like certain ones I'm like, hey baby, I
And
don't
I'm
care
fight
nobody
about
opinion. Yeah.
and I'm willing to fight about it. Them
Mhm.
5 stars was 5 stars.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
and, and
Mhm.
you know, word on the curb is we're gonna piss some people off with this one too, because apparently some of these Connecticut Kings y'all don't like. I feel like we're gonna rank them a little higher than y'all did.
Because if you don't think JJ and them gonna be above five, like 4.5, and it's crazy.
That's fair. Although you and I gonna duke it out because JJ's not my favorite.
Oh, I know who Ramsey.
Yes. Yes. Can we talk about it?
So let's get some out the way. Thank You Later was the Thanksgiving novella she did for
Yes.
people.
Yes.
I'm gonna go back to my story graph and see what I rank this one. What I because I let me see what I put this as because I this was so long. I read this when it first came out, so 2021.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and open my little good old trusty Kindle app.
So yeah, the Fines family Thanksgiving novelettes. Um, it was this was Alexandra Warren, Nicole Falls, and her 2021. Wow, I gave this a 4 star.
Mhm.
Listen, I sadly right now, I'm gonna be real. I couldn't tell you what it's about.
You know what? I remember it. I remember how cute it was, and it's a 4 star, and I think either between a 3.75 and a 4 star is safe, and because the experience is black ass, it's a cute. So I think they're cousins, if I'm not mistaken. The three male main characters are cousins,
Mm,
and it's a Thanksgiving novella, and it's like this little running joke thing
mm-hmm,
between cousins and their uncle, where he's like, "You." It's a competition between them to bring the baddest for Thanksgiving
mm-hmm,
dinner. And I'm like, what a black ass experience.
mm-hmm. So
What a
now I
little
have a
black ass cute
question.
little.
So I have a question. When we left off, I said, okay, I'm gonna reread King of Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do think we placed it right at 3.75. Do you think Thank Me Later is equivalent to
Ooh.
King of Hearts?
And I ain't read this one in at least a year because I've read it recently, but
Hmm.
I haven't read it in at least a year.
Hold on.
Hey, girl. She's so cute. I love her.
Oh, you could hear me, but I don't think I don't know if the live could hear me, but I think you could hear me. I don't know. So sorry y'all if
Yeah.
y'all could hear the commotion in the background. But you
You
know,
know what? To answer your question, that's really yes. I'm gonna say yes because what I remember of it was really cute and really fun. So yes.
okay. I'm gonna go to like the Atlanta crew, the strictly professional and unfinished business, and people do not like that duology, and I do. I think it's the right
I
kind of
enjoyed it.
messy.
That shit pissed me off. Both of
Hmm.
those stories pissed me. But what a well written way to get into some urban messy drama, and not even urban because it's not necessarily an
Mm,
urban
mm-mm.
story.
I
It's
think
just
that
a mess.
I think people don't like it um because the characters dang well it's not really a spoiler like they got back together after his hiccup, but I was
Mhm.
like I find that a lot of people do not like some of CCJ's books because it shines a mirror on some of the men they have dealt with. But if we're going to say we want black representation, we're going to have to include, right? We're going to have to include these black men who make the dumbest mistakes.
Furthermore, this is why I say what I say about CCJ. These are real stories.
Uh-huh.
This may not be a real story, these are fictional characters, but this is based on a real story. Somebody read this and felt that.
Mhm.
Whether you didn't like what you felt because you didn't like how you handled yourself is your business. But this is why
Also, but
this is why
it
he's
goes back
so good.
to no the story of these black women who lose themselves for love. And they sacrifice their careers for love. And it's a messy, and then when they do that, and to me it kind of interrogates like the traditionalism of their
Mm-hmm.
relationship. So we're talking, and no one really knows the synopsis of this. Okay, Strictly
No,
Professional. We are introduced to our main characters. Hold on, let me, because it's Terrence and
Gabby is her name. Gabrielle.
Gabby, right? She comes into this law firm, new city, new life, and Terrence is her like kind of supervisor of this power dynamic thing that's happening. But this is, I think this is why like people like the first one don't like the second one, because the first one he kind of like ends up being her safe haven from her be, because this is the one with the BS parents, right? And the stalker like ex or whatever. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 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 yeah. And
Yeah.
so they no, this is a, y'all want workplace relationships. This is one. Like in the books, I saw some people looking for some more workplace relationships. Strictly Professional and Unfinished Business is a duology that does that. Apparently when I first read it, I gave it 3 star, but it's one of the ones I do come back to just
Mm-hmm.
to like have a refresher. And I think this is the one that connects Texas, and then Texas connects like Mahogany Heights, I think. But like,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so um and like, because in your mind, like, well, Terrence a good guy, he wasn't trying to like push over her, and then they kind of find out what's actually going on, like the uncle. It's just like, it's just a
Mm-hmm.
good story. And so Strictly Professional, okay, cool, a lot of people like that. Unfinished Business, people do not like.
And I disagree with that. I have an issue with that because the reality of it is that nobody's romance is perfect and nobody's story is not without some strife. And so he fucked up. It ain't like she was just staying with him. Some of these books and some of these characters, these women are really going through some things. This woman picked up, moved on with her life, and decided to co-parent with a man that she thought was her forever. Turns
Hmm.
out he just had
He
an
get
emotional affair and men. Okay,
he,
because really in Unfinished Business, let's really talk about this and let's really point this out. Gabby changed as one does when they have a child.
because she tried to go the traditional route, and you're not a traditional girl, and then he's not a traditional man either, because he also fell for the okey doke. It was two people trying to satisfy their parents and grandparents. Well, you need to figure out your relationship for yourself.
And again, this goes back into your whole thesis of some of y'all don't like this because y'all are not traditional people and y'all don't want a traditional relationship. And that bothers you because it's shining a mirror to you saying, hey, babe, this stay at home, mom, you're not that type of woman. Don't lie to yourself because you're miserable. You know
Hmm.
what? Somebody heard that and felt some type of way. And my apologies. I'm just speaking about a book. Or am I?
You know what? I think I would say I would put both of them at 3.75.
I was going to give him a 4 star.
I was too, but I don't know. But if we do the battle of the 4 stars, are they even 4 stars up? Are they even gonna make it?
See, and that's so rough because they really deserve a 4 star.
We can put it at a 4 star. I'm not.
You know what? I want to see them duke it out with some people.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you know what? You got it. Y'all got it. They some lawyers. They got it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see them argue their case.
Not. I want to see them argue their case.
I'm saying I think that they are really really great stories. Again, I'm always gonna go back to this being a testament of her pen,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that she writes these stories because true that you know what that one scene in Unfinished Business alone gave it a 4 star when Gabrielle meets the bitch that was trying to replace her and they in that goddamn law firm. and they have to battle, and she oh my, that scene alone. And you know what? I'm gonna go on ahead, put that on my TBR. Let me go on ahead, reread that. It's about that time.
Cause like in the grand scheme of things, like does he redeem himself in a way that we would have been fully satisfied as current modern women? It's not my motherfucking relationship.
Not for me to say. That's for her to say. And I feel like he did. I feel like she feels like he did, which is why it ended the way that it did.
Because in the grand scheme of things, they both lost themselves.
They did.
Yeah.
He thought he wanted a traditional woman and was listening to everybody in his circle, which is why he ended up
But
falling.
and you know why? Because of grief. They both were dealing with unresolved grief.
Which, again, this is a testament to her pen and being connected to her community. These
Mhm.
are black ass stories. These are
Mhm.
black ass people experiencing black ass lives. How many black people do you know really truly deal with grief? Especially if it's connected to somebody they have a very deep and close love for.
Mhm.
How often or how easy is it for them to deal with grief? Look at women and black women and how our bodies are policed when we have children.
Mhm.
Hate to point that out like that, but the way we as a community police black women's bodies after they've given birth, the way we expect the expectation we place on mothers, and not just mothers but black mothers, because I'm only speaking for my community only. And she took a light and she put a spotlight on that, and in a different way, in a different situation. But the reality of it is we were able to generate some of these conversations, and this is in what, 2021, or was that, no, this was an older book. Strictly Professional and
And
Unfinished
no, this
Business.
2021. Oh, hold on. Wait,
It
no,
is
this older. No, no, no. You're right. It's older.
old.
Yeah, it's
I'm like,
older.
these were in the late
Oh, this
2010s.
2014. This 12 years
Oh
ago.
no, mid 2010s.
This
See, that's what I'm
2014.
saying. Again, this is a conversation. This was over a decade ago. This was damn near 12 years ago. So think of the
Yeah.
conversations we were having then about black women and black mothers, especially black women in a professional field. Going back,
Mhm.
a lawyer, babe, that lady went to school for that. Do you know how much schooling you have to go through? Do you know how what it takes to pass the bar? This young lady did all of that and then gave that up and then had to rebuild after being bullied into trying to be a mother only.
Mhm.
Again, testament to her pen, testament to her connection to her community, which
Mhm.
is why I say these are really great books. Yeah, I can see them in the Battle of the Forest.
Cause
Because now we have to
now,
really be nitpicky and we really have to be discerning of some of these books, and can that stand against some of these other ones? Some of them other ones might not be it for after this.
and next we're going to, and I'm like, it's crazy because Hints of Spice. Um, now let's jump to Sweet Heat because I know we're gonna talk a lot about the Connecticut Kings. Now, Hints
Yes.
of Spice is connected to Love on a Highlight Reel, but I think it can stand on its own as well. I can't believe that I don't own Sweet Heat, and it's not at the local library either.
Oh no, I think that's on. I think that's on Kindle. You can buy it through her if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you can buy the whole pack.
Yeah.
Okay, but Hints of Spice is about sin.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to reread it because I really like Sin, and but
Yes.
I don't know if because this is about when she leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to call it Touching Point. That is not the name of that place. Arching
Our,
Point.
yeah. Touching point, ma'am. Touching point is
Like
insane.
um okay. Apparently I gave it a 3 star when I first read it back in 2022. This came out in 2016. Sin Bradley
Mm-hmm.
packs up and moves herself, her mother, and her baby away from their home in Connecticut. She has no plans to make a love connection. She's just trying to get settled into her new house, new job, and new life until Landry Augustine comes to her front door. Together, they explore the potential of a romance neither was looking for, sweet and a little spicy. I vaguely remember this, and I'm just like, why did I give it such a You know what? I was a little weird back then. I ain't gonna lie. Like, girl, what was you going through? A lot, and we're not even gonna talk about that. Your thoughts on hints of spice?
Um, Hints of spice. You know what? The whole you. I mean, this is tough because I really. These are some of the ones that I'm like I really like for different reasons. Hint of spice. I'll go in on each one individually first. Um, I'm taking into consideration what you've already said about us doing a battle of the 4 stars, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the only part of why I'm trying to decide if I'm keeping them out of the 4 star range or not because
Cause I was gonna give, I was gonna at least give Sin stuff like a 3.75 because if you have Thank Me Later 3.75, I think Hints
yeah.
of Spice deserves to be a 3.75.
Oh, absolutely. But again, which is why I'm like, am I putting them in a 4 star conversation because they're really good. I'm like, Sin's story, an ex stripper, because you have to make that the caveat, an ex stripper finding love and the way that conversation flows around her, because it
Mm-hmm.
is revealed at some point that she was an ex stripper. And that's the turning point in her story, and it's part of being a big deal again. Somebody who is doing something that's close to sex work as you or it could be considered a form of sex work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody doing that and she's deemed less than because of her past, finding love in the way he's willing to, yeah. Yeah, I'm like, they're really really good stories, they're quick stories, but they're really good stories. But yeah, I would put that at a 3.75. I
Mm-hmm.
said a lot to say that.
So would you put the rest of them in 3.75? Because so a dash of heat, apparently I put it a 4 star. And I don't know if I was just like hungry at the time because that one really deals with the food truck.
No, let me tell you, this
Because
is
that
why
was
I
the
was
sister. Maggie
I'm,
Augustine is the one in this one.
yes, I'm fighting for these to be above a 3.75. And the reason why, because each one deals with something in womanhood and femininity in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Sin is a stripper.
Mm-hmm.
She has a man defending her, something you don't see often. It's a very
Mm-hmm.
sexualized woman being loved on properly. Then
Mm-hmm.
you have Maggie, part of the people who were treating her a particular way
Mm-hmm.
because she's a stripper and she listening to her homegirl, and her homegirl wants to be with her brother, and that man don't want her. And
I
then you
don't
have,
remember none of that. I need to buy these and
yes, honey,
reread
Maggie's
them.
story is Maggie's a prude. And Maggie has, this is the tale of the freako versus the prude. Because then you have Maggie who gave her cookies up to a man who was treating her like she a situationship. And you thought that being a good woman was gonna get you that, and now look at you getting played like a fiddle and embarrassed, and only for a man to come and treat you right. But you had to learn that lesson. It don't matter if you keep your legs closed or open. A man gonna be a man at every point. But I'm like, these are, again, she's
Hmm.
touching on topics and conversations that are important, and I enjoy it. And that's why I'm like, they're really. I liked Maggie's story. I think I like Hint of Spice.
Cause Prue, I barely remember her stuff. Apparently, I only gave it 3 stars.
I'm like,
So,
the first 2 books. Prue is good. I enjoyed Prue's, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the first 2 books. The first 2 books, baby, I was like, oh, this is some tea.
what about this? Hints of
I'm,
Spice,
I'm with
Dash
that.
of Heat at 4, 3.75 for Touch of Sugar. Cause I mean, you're
I'm with that.
okay. 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 So now we got that kind of settled because the third one, A Touch of Sugar, is only like 60 pages. So
Yeah.
it's most definitely on the shorter end.
Hmm.
Most definitely a novelette. Um, Next we have the Connecticut Kings.
How are we gonna do these? You wanna go in
Yeah, we're gonna go
order?
in. Yeah, we're gonna go in order for
We can
sure.
go in order.
Okay, so Connecticut Kings is the series she has with Love Belvin. We if you were in Blackwood with us, you know that kind of our first introduction to the Connecticut Kings was through Cora and Tyreek or Tyrick. So, yeah. And yeah, cuz he's an ex Connecticut King. That's how it goes. And the first is it the hold on, let me go back. Let me tell you the real order, honey. Cuz y'all not
Hmm.
about to jump me over no dang on Connecticut Kings.
I'm like, I have them pulled up if you want me to. I can tell you each one.
So, Love in the Red Zone is the first one by Love Belvin. We're introduced to that man's annoying wife, Trent and Jade. Jade annoyed me, baby. I'm so sorry.
Now I know this because we've talked about it, but I didn't think you was gonna say it
I'm
out
gonna say it. She is. Anyways, and today apparently on Thursday we're like somebody was like, "What Ezra are y'all talking about?" The only one Ezra I know is Ethic, and I was like, "Ethic is Ethic from Ashley and next series,
loud.
Ethic."
Hmm.
I said that's the only one that matter because the one they talk about I can't stand. So, and they're talking about the Ezra out of this series from Under Love Delvin. This is my channel. I can say what I want.
Listen,
I say this. Mercedes didn't say that. I said
I
it. So
I live. I ain't say a word, sugar. You good?
the first one was Connecticut. It you know it's
Right.
one of the ones that I really can't reread at all. And then number two was Love on a
Yes.
Highlight Reel by CCJ, and that's when we get introduced to some of our faves that we continuously see throughout the CCJ universe. We
Yes.
see Jordan Johnson or JJ and Nicole Richardson, and who is a twin, and her father owns the Connecticut Kings, and also used to be um one of the players as well. And so, because in this one, JJ is the younger one.
Yes.
Yeah, JJ
Yes.
is the younger one. Cause she go by Cole, cause she's one of the only few women
Well,
in
I think
there.
aren't they the same age? They
Uh.
went to college together.
Yeah, but one of them is. But I think Cole is a year older.
Got it.
Yeah, and so this is one of my favorite couples in the CCJ universe
Yes.
because they both had to check each other a lot, right? Because it's not until
Yes.
you go further on, you like, oh, they got history. Yes, it's not that he got just a crush. They have like history. They were together.
Mm-hmm.
And because she's a woman in an institution where she does not hold a lot of power, they have to remain professional, like they don't have any background. And he's like one of the star players, one of the main the main receiver for the Connecticut Kings, and she is his what is it called, what do they call it,
Think that she was the player development.
coordinator or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it helped him between his PR stuff and all of that. And it we get kind of like this deeper story also what's happening with him. We once again get introduced to is it Chloe is her name?
Yes, Chloe McKenna.
Chloe McKenna, which is also the another connector between between the whole CCJ J universe. She pops up everywhere, between behind the scenes and Mahogany Heights and Black, like she is everywhere. I think
She
she
is PR star.
Yeah, so we kind of get her even some of her background through this because we're
Mhm.
really introduced to her through Mahogany Heights, I think, for real. But this came out in Love on a Highlight Reel came out 2016. Cause
Yeah,
Chloe pops up a couple times, but we
she
really
does.
get her story. So Love on a Highlight Reel about to be 10 years old. That's
I think we
crazy.
get that. Honestly, I think we get a lot of her background through this.
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm saying. Like we get
oh,
it
I
through
was about to say, I
JJ
was like, no, we get it. We get
because her man is through him.
it.
Remember?
Is it through him or is it through one of Love Bell? I thought it was through one of Love Belvin characters because remember he in jail. Is he?
Right, but
Is
they're
it through CJ's connection or through
it's
hers?
through one CCJ because remember I recently read Connecticut Kings. I said, oh yeah, that's how her story comes up. It's through one of these.
Yes.
So her story pops up, but she's like around a lot. Chloe McKenna is yeah.
Go ahead, put JJ at a 5-star, girl.
I actually wasn't gonna put him in 5 star.
I'm
Mm-mm.
hot.
To be honest, for me,
Mm-hmm.
none of the Connecticut Kings is a 5 star.
Interessante.
None of them. Um,
Interesting.
yeah,
I'm learning something new about you.
none of them. Because if you
Okay.
compared to like all my other 5 stars that immediately when you say my favorite CC, Connecticut Kings does not like pop up in my head, which is interesting with my personal background. like,
Right.
like why that wouldn't pop up, but mm-mm.
And them being your favorite couple, I was like, I would assume that
One
would
of
be.
them, I would put them at 4.75, but I wouldn't put at a 5 star because they're not beating. Cause JJ not my man. Kingston's
No.
my man. Lakin is one of my men. JJ not my man. JJ is another
I
little brother in my
I'm
mind.
screaming at you.
Exactly, JJ older than me, so no.
Girl, you crack me up. I love it. Okay. I think that's a good rating.
hmm
I
And then
think that's a
after
good
Live on a Highlight Reel, which is crazy because I gave it a 4.5. And then the next one is Determining Possession, which is Will and Ramsey, which is your people. Give
clap it
us a
up.
spiel. Give us a spiel.
So Will is an athlete. Actually, they're both athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Ramsey is a former Connecticut King, and Wilhelmina is an former athlete. She was a track athlete, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have worked on this is how we get introduced to WAWG as a network and our understanding of what that network is. The inception of that network kind of starts in this book because they are sideline reporters, which is really cute how she plays on this because at the time of this book coming out, I think there were a couple of women reporters through ESPN, and so her really highlighting women's sport analysts was really dope at this time frame because
Mm-hmm.
a lot, but we had quite a few in 2016, 2017 era. So, um,
Let me see, because determined possession is 2017. Yeah.
yeah, they are a friends to lovers trope.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's embarrassed and we kind of get introduced to her getting embarrassed because her fiance is cheating on her. He's an actor. Never trust an actor.
He was an actor.
Yeah, he was. I was like, he's an actor, right? Because he was on the show.
No, I thought he
And
was a competing. Girl, I don't know.
I think you're mixing it up with Free Agent because Free Agent he was an athlete.
no, no, no,
And
no, no. I thought he was on another show, and that's why
mm,
he didn't like Ramsey. Okay, we'll continue. Anyways.
no, he was. I think he was on the show, but he wasn't a sports analyst. He wasn't a sports
Oh, okay.
actor. Yeah, he was an actor, and he was on the show with some white woman that he was cheating with. And so we get introduced to their relationship. Kind of why this is one of my favorites is their dynamic, that true friends to lovers, and that safe transition between,
Mhm.
because there's some transition between, say, friends to lover that don't feel safe. It's like, was you plotting on this girl this whole time, or was you plotting on this man? You wasn't this person's friend. You was plotting for. Whereas this feels like a true friendship, and that transition,
Because they both were like, what? You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like, yeah.
right. I'm like, and you could tell that Ramsey had a crush on her, but I don't think there was ever a point where it felt like he was plotting on her versus
Cause she was just an
genuinely.
attractive woman, but he didn't really want to. Cause I mean, he had his own like baggage as well.
Right. And I'm like, you could tell that this was a true friendship, and this was a surprise to both of them, this coming this way. And so I think that's why I enjoy a friends to lover. I enjoy an enemies to lover, depending on how you write it. But I enjoy a friends to lover when it feels like it's safe. And so I give this a 4.75.
Mhm.
Because you're right. Some of my 5 stars does it can compete. This is one of the ones I will go back and read. I will go back and read this one.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm like, these that one is so good. I love the story between the two. I love that she comes from athletic parents, because both of her parents were athletes. I love that he gave up football because his mother passed away, and this was he lost his passion for football.
Oh, and then he ends up back. Okay, yeah.
The reason that he really takes on, because he's still very athletic, and he's still, like, he has that skill set, but he doesn't have the passion for it, and it takes him talking to Trent, or TB,
Mhm.
who quarterback, who is a part of the Love Belvin half of these books. So TB really talks to him and explains, hey, my love on the field is from winning for my family. And so him connecting that back and really developing this friendship and relationship, and you see that in this book. I'm like, it was such a cute story.
Mhm.
Also, that scene in Bali, just because you know that scene in Bali, just because, girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
The girlies know. The girlies know. But I'm like,
Mhm.
this, what a cute story. I love that one. I'm
Mhm.
like, this is how you get a man who like the scene where they're working out, and he like, I'm helping you work out because that's what you want to do, not because
Mhm.
of what people are talking about. Like him checking her and really letting her
Mhm.
know, I'm your friend, and we not gonna do that. Like, I
And you know
what
what? I also wonder if that, because that just reminded me of kind of the critique that Serena Williams got when she was in her thicker size, where she was
right.
playing. So I wonder if this was also around that time.
It had
Um,
to have been,
and so yeah.
because everybody know them track athletes thick, honey.
Mhm. Mhm.
Them, so, I mean, like, you have to have a particular type of figure, but them girls ain't no little petite things. I'm like, they muscular, they're
Mhm.
built, but them some thick body girls.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So that was the third Connecticut Kings. The fourth one was going back to Love Velvet and Trent and Jade and them. And then the fifth one. The fifth. Okay, this is not on the list, but the fifth one was Love's Ineligible Receiver, and the only downfall to that one by Love Belvin is that it scientifically did not make sense. That was the only thing.
But that's a good book. I do
But
enjoy.
the main male character is a piece of work, but you're rooting from him the whole time. Like,
Yes, yes. I'm
and
like, boy,
so I just think that that's the downside, and that's a huge like plot point. And I'm like, that's scientifically inaccurate, but I'm gonna let you have it, child. But I do like that story because it also talks about dealing with caregiving, end of life. And
yes.
so I think LaBelvin
Woo!
did a good job with that aspect and how it ages you caregiving. Does no matter the money that you have. Do you hear me? So
And
I
it
think
does.
I would give her props for that.
I think it also does shine a light on the toll some of these sports take on athletes' bodies.
Oh yeah.
It
Did
brings
he
up the
deserve
conversation
it?
of Well, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Because I mean, this is also about
Abuse.
abuse and somebody going through CTE and what it looks like. Because somebody,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you didn't hear me. I slid that in there.
What you say?
I said, because somebody needs to check on Cam Newton.
Not Nicleta. Um, Number six was pass interference by CCJ, and this one we Cole's twin brother,
Mm-hmm.
Nate. This is his story, and there's an age gap with an older woman. What I and how that power dynamic happens, and her also being a coach
Mm-hmm.
on a major NFL team, that power dynamic as well. I enjoyed their story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like how it highlights um women going through like cardiac problems at a young age, because she was fairly young.
Very young.
She was also like post divorce. Um, so I enjoyed it. I'm good at it at a like a 4 star. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I think I wanted something more like with Nate, or maybe I need to
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. I feel like that one was missing something, because so much of the background depended on the last five, versus like
Yeah.
adding something new, you
Yeah.
know. So,
You know what? I am with you on that. I enjoyed the story. It's not one in the series that I go back to,
mhm,
which is kind of crazy to say because it's a really good story.
mhm,
Now, those of you who are getting to know me will let me just say this for you. I hate an age gap romance. I hate it. I hate it. I'm like every once in a while I can read one and I enjoy. I hate age gap romance. I really do. It grinds my gears. I don't know what it is about age, and some of that be a little too drastic for me, and I don't.
mhm,
But I can appreciate how this story developed in this conversation because a lot of times, especially when it's a woman in an age gap and she is the older person, how that's looked at and the how it can be fetishized in one end and how it can be really judged on another. Oh, you with a younger man, girl, you too old to be doing that. Versus, oh, you look at you, you a cougar. Like it can get
mhm.
really weird, but I like how she approached the conversation. Her being an older woman, her having a very well old child, and him not wanting kids in that conversation. And so, no, I
And
think it's really
him,
well.
and
You
I
know
think
what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
it also talked about like the superwoman effect, right? Put on
Yes.
tape, like she didn't want to tell anybody like what was going on, because um and so yeah, I think it hit some really important things. But I
Mm-hmm.
think, like I said, I think it relied too much on the previous ones for me.
I would have given it a 4.25, but I also understand a 5 star. I also understand a 5 star. That's fair.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, no, I think okay, I can live with that. I can live with that.
We can live at a 4 or 4.25.
You put it. You know what? Put it at a 4.25.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So after past interference, we have Love's Encroachment by Love Belvin. I don't remember that. I'm so sorry, you guys. Because I feel like I recently tried to reread it and I was like, no.
Isn't that about a coach or something?
Yeah, a coach
Because I'm like,
telling
we
a
get, we get different aspects of the game and different players and different parts of a football team. Like we get the owners' kids, we get
mhm.
players, we get coaches. So I'm like, but you're right. I don't remember. I read it the first time and I don't remember it after that.
And then the eighth one is offensive formations. that came out. The audio came out 2025, but I think the original book came out in 2021.
Yeah.
And so that one, because that's because when the audio came back out, I remember I was like, oh, that's where Alex Monroe been. Because she had disappeared on us. But this one is about Tegan. And let's see.
And Ambrose.
Ambrose.
I don't
Hold
have
on.
to put that at a 4.5. I ain't even gonna argue with y'all about it.
Not the phone ringing. So sorry, y'all.
Don't go ahead and put it at a 4.5, baby. And I'm gonna tell you why. Just for that podcast scene and then her interview past that alone. Or her response to that alone. I'm like,
Cause
that
okay, you know what? Yes, cause remember, offensive formations is the one I will forget and then remember out of nowhere because that was cause we
yeah.
get JJ and Cole back post their retirements, but not retirements because they're still involved in Connecting King. Like they're still involved. Yeah, once if y'all
Oh,
read Connecting Kings, you will know about the process or
let me
how.
out real quick. Nate leaves the company, starts his own company. He takes his sister with him. They leave the Connecticut Kings business and start their own sports agency. This is how we get Cole leaving and then JJ retiring because he has to retire due to medical leave. Because
Mm-hmm.
baby done fucked up his shoulder too many times. So now you caught up. You need to read the books anyways. But now that you're caught up, you see them in a new light because they are now truly developing their players and really working from a big brother big sister aspect, and so I like that part of it. I also like because Tegan is a tennis player.
That's what I was getting confused with. I sometimes
Yeah,
Cause Will is the track and Tegan is the tennis.
the tennis
Ambrose
player.
is one of the new guys. He's one of
He's
what new receivers or something. And
about to.
so and he's just like want to be cool and like you can't be around everybody and cause they gonna think like you talking major ish and you're not.
No.
And so it's like enemies to lovers or rivals to lovers for real.
Yes, yes, which I was thriving in. But that fucking scene alone, where they on that podcast running their mouth about that young lady, and she literally trashed all of them.
She lit into them every time.
I'm like, Tegan is a girl after my own heart, baby. Yes. Don't let them play in your face and disrespect you. she was not. She was not one for the bullshit, and I live. I live for it. But yeah, I enjoyed that story. I really enjoyed that story. I enjoyed their dynamics. I enjoyed how it went from her really not liking him and him being indifferent to them really developing not just a relationship, but a nice little friendship.
Hmm.
I thought that was cute. I thought that was a little moment.
Um. Okay. The last one, probably the most country. Hold on. Let me make sure it wasn't something before. No, there is something. Hold on. Hold
Missed one?
on. Let me go back. So after offensive formations, there's number 9, which is Love's Neutral Zone by Love Belvin. I DNF that one. So I
I
have no
did.
idea what's that about. Maz, Zayed, Maze, Zayed, and Sandria Matthews. I think that's the one why, I just like, hey baby, I'm not gonna drink no more. I think that was heavy Ezra handed, and I was like, hey, this is not great.
I think you told me R. Kelly was in it, or something about R. Kelly being mentioned, and I
Oh
was like,
my god.
I was like, you ain't
Sorry.
got to tell me nothing else after that. I'm so hey to anybody in the comment section who might pop in and be like, I don't like how her hands, baby. I don't play like that.
Ain't no hard
I have
hands.
DNF.
I don't play it.
I
It's
have DNF so many books that got R. Kelly mentioned in it. Please do not play with me.
like grow up. Be a better person. So I
Don't
think
play.
I DNF'd that book early on. I have no idea. So then we get to number 10, which is The Last Connecticut Kings. I hope they, to be honest, before we get to this, because that's the last one.
Uh-huh.
People are like, oh, they can continue it. I actually hope they stop it at a certain point. I will be good at 12. I'm good right now, to be honest.
I'm like, I think they've ended the series rather well. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you could have stopped at the not determinate possessions, Lord, offensive formations. I'm like, you could have stopped at offensive formations and that been the end.
That would have
I'm
been
like,
the
you don't.
end. Because free agent feels like how New Heights feel. Like,
Yes,
let's start another era. But
yes.
if I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, let's start about free agent.
You know what? Let me say this before we get there. I am actually also interested in her starting something new. Like if you're gonna start these partnerships and involve, because I'm like I'm interested in this. I'm interested in you working with other authors because how she did the Fine Cousins.
Hmm.
Like I'm okay with a couple of collabs.
Absolutely.
And but I think we let's build a new world.
Also,
I want to
it's
see something different.
yeah. It also goes to like when to know how to stop a series.
Hmm.
And so I think we're at that point because I think once we get into like once we get to like 7 and 8, you know what I'm saying?
Here's how you can end this if she's gone. Like we gonna do one more. Give us a Super Bowl halftime performance and leave it at that.
With
Let's let
Vanity, listen, with Vanity doing she coming out of retirement to like do a halftime, like
let's do this. Let's do it like this. Let's give the people a halftime performance book and then leave it at
yeah,
that.
um, because I think and like you know I'm saying this as a like I said as a person who reads other genres that have like long series as well. You need to know when to stop, like,
Yeah,
and I
fair.
think we're like with Connecticut Kings, like we can stop. You could have stopped at the last one. Actually, you could have stopped at 8.
But I
We
don't
didn't
think
need
they're gonna
9 and 10,
continue. I'm like,
huh?
I don't think that they're gonna pick up that series any further.
Mm.
I don't think so. I don't think that that was in it. I think these last couple of books have been like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll jump back into it. But I don't think this is something that they were
Mm.
actively doing to continue.
Mm. Okay, great.
Not from what I've seen from CCJ, not from some of the conversations I've seen her have. I don't think that this is something that they are going to pick up and continue.
Like, but people do love the Connecticut Kings, and I'm
No, it's
really
a great series.
right. And
I enjoyed myself.
so I'm like, listen, put that jersey back up for sale and let it go. Like, and but I am a person like, all right, like so
Mhm.
that's why I said like and our other thing I said it's so good to like when a new era starts and like she
Mhm.
does a nod to like in Friction we saw King and the Drakes and we're like
Yeah,
did I see y'all sister last
yeah.
time I'm glad y'all still alive because y'all passed a little iffy, so like it's our
Honest,
faves our faves go through some things,
honey.
and so I like it was just like it was good and No Longer Afraid and Raised by Wolves when we see Alicia
Hmm.
like looking at motherhood a different way. Like it's give me them nods, but like close that chapter.
Some years down the line,
Yeah.
what changed for you?
Free Agent I heard was controversial when it came out. The girls did not like. They were saying that the female main character was weak, and I wanted to be like, hey, you must don't like that mirror. Cause when I read her, I was like, I like this. That must be that mirror again. I want a strong female character. She is a strong female character. She left.
You don't know. Look. Everybody wants to point this out until it's you. Everybody wants to point out what a character would do until it's you. I don't always agree with some of these characters. I didn't. She got cheated on and stayed. You're right.
And then humiliated,
And then
right? As
humiliated.
well.
And I get it. And I get it. But why are we putting the onus back on her when that man knew it was her birthday and
Huh.
decided to go take his side bitch out to
And
her
wasn't
favorite
she? And then
restaurant?
was she
Why
pregnant or
are we
something like
putting
that?
the onus back on
You
her?
know what? This makes me want to reread Free Agent. Why and why don't I?
No,
Do I own Agent? And
don't
if
have
I
it.
don't, why don't I?
So we putting it at a 4.75 or a 4.5 because this
Because
is
I did
well
give it a
above the
four point seven
4.25.
five. I did give it a 4.75. I
Because
did.
I'm like, let's really talk about it. Because I don't care what the girlies is talking about. That's a damn good book. I thoroughly enjoyed that. First of all, I enjoyed the way that young lady
Oh,
got her.
Okay, apparently I never listened to the audio. I only read it an ebook. And it's read by Winston James and Jay Shawnee. I just get it off Libby. I'll be listening to it tonight.
I
Listen,
like it.
because what I also liked
Mm-hmm.
is we go through this process of this woman
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out what care is.
Yes.
And so we cannot say, once again, we cannot say that we want black stories and complex stories and don't have messy characters in a way that's not
Authentic.
right. And I think a lot of people like messy characters in gossip and like in more the urban, but I don't think like people like messy characters in contemporary. And I'm like, you can't just have messy characters in urban.
Number one, that. Number two, life is complex. I know that these are fiction stories, but if you want just a fantasy, babe, there's an entire genre for that. I want us, if we want to be for real, let's be for real. Don't pick up these books and don't pick up a CCJ book if you're not really ready to read a full story. If you're not ready to read complex characters, if you're not ready to hear a full moment in somebody's life from start to finish, good, bad, and indifferent. Because again, I look, y'all know that's my. I love her down. One of the things that I've enjoyed about reading her from start to finish is these are a part of somebody's life. You
Mhm.
only get a section of this. Not
Mhm.
every book ends with a happily ever after. Not every book is meant to.
Mhm.
Every time you end off on a story, it's whatever happened in that moment, and it's full and complex stories. No matter if it's 60 pages or 300,
Mhm.
you're getting a full scope of this whatever this story is. That's what that is. You get a full story. You don't have to agree with every action that that person takes. This ain't your life. You ain't. What did you need a manual on how to be an adult or handle a situation? Like I'm not.
Also, you know, and another thing is like for Rory, she is not in the same world as the Connecticut Kings for real. She's a techie, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And so her thought process, she's in, I've noticed, and this is me as also, we're both professional women in different fields. And
Hmm.
women in these different fields think and operate differently in their relationships. To me,
If and in fairness, the reality of it is how you're socializing, where you're socializing. I think that goes back into your point,
hmm
especially as Black women. So you have to think a Black woman athlete is going to look at life and relationships are going to be different for her versus a woman who's a lawyer versus a woman who's in tech. All of
hmm
these are in male dominated places because we live in the United States and these books are typically written in the United States. So we live under a patriarchal society, right? These are written under patriarchal societies. The reality of it is Black women are socialized a particular way based on where they're
hmm
at.
misogyny and everything. Yeah.
Right. What type of misogyny are you dealing with? What type of Swiss Army knife of white supremacy are you dealing with? And that's just, is it racism? Is it microaggressions? Is it sexism? Is it classism? Which ism are you dealing with? Right. And
hmm
so for somebody like her who's not, this man got her from the beginning. right?
Mhm.
If I'm not mistaken, they met, they've been together for 20 years,
Mhm.
right? They were together. I'm like Rory
Were
and
they?
whatever. I'm like they were together for some time. Like
Were
they
they
had
high school
years,
sweethearts?
right? Because I'm like
Yeah. I don't think it was
she,
20, but it was some years.
it was some, it may not have been 20, but it was at least 10, at minimum 10. I'm like they were together for quite some time, and they gotten together very young, and
Mhm.
so her world was revolved around him. She's not used to that lifestyle and that understanding, and so she, coming from a different aspect in a different place in a different understanding, I can see how she easily got cheated on because she was about that man.
Or I wouldn't say
And
she easy got
not,
cheated on. I just like he easy was a trash
no,
ass.
what I mean is,
Oh, she
as
was
a,
oblivious to what was going on.
right, as a
Okay.
woman who is dealing with somebody and you're here because I'm here supporting you. I'm not used
Mhm.
to this world. I don't know anything about this.
Mhm.
Neither is he, but he's an athlete and he knows what comes with being an athlete. Everybody knows.
And see
We even have a
also,
little bit of semblance of knowing athletes gonna get ass.
and so
Somebody gonna be
also,
throwing
I
ass.
think a major thing as well. I think was different in this one is that we weren't really dealing with the field. In the
No,
Canadian Kings, we were like talk about practice and X, Y, and Z. So much of the previous Canadian Kings was surrounded a few years to try and get to the Super Bowl, but the newer Canadian Kings were like truly focus on people's personal relationships and not, I don't think I remember any like on the action field in free agent, which is why it felt so different. Like free agent, if it didn't have Connecticut Kings on it, it could have been a regular CCJ.
which is why I was thinking that this was the end of the Connecticut Kings anyway, because we're no longer focusing so much on the actual football. We're actually focusing on on the people and not
Mm-hmm.
so heavily on what it means to be a part of the Connecticut Kings. Because you're right, because I'm pretty, he not play for the, did Tate not play for the Connecticut Kings? I thought he did,
He
right?
did. He was a newbie.
But remember, the team had at that point, many of the players are gone.
That's
You have
why.
some players who are still around, but yeah, you're right. I'm like, it's not heavily focused on the Kings. And I think at that point, if you know sports, if you're a sports girly like me, you could tell that the team itself was in a rebuilding phase. They had
Mm-hmm.
championships. Some players had gone on. Now they're trying to find pieces to rebuild on. And as a sports girly, you know, you when players retire or team changes, you find yourself rebuilding in a rebuilding phase. And so you could tell that the Connecticut Kings was in a rebuilding phase, and it's like their glory days are kind of behind them until the next glory days come upon us. And so this is how you kind of get a focus more on the characters and not necessarily what's going on behind the scenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciated that about this book because we really got the characters and what they had going on more so than anything. And so I enjoyed that. And let me just say, look, the story was so well written, and I get it because some of the girlies like you may not agree with how this happened, and as for me, I enjoy a good old look back story. So I enjoyed that, but I also enjoy.
Also, how y'all gonna be hot girls but don't like a lick back story? Please.
But what I because dead ass, cut the cameras, dead ass. But but I enjoy seeing a woman really find in these stories a man who really wants her for her, and kind of shows her that, not just tells her that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Country Boy Tate was like, nah, baby, let me put some action behind this. Let me show you what it's really like. Let me really, and then, baby, hold on. First of all, because we're not really talking about the book, we just talking about some of the actions and some of the behind the stuff. But
Also, cause okay, is Rory the first? Cause I'm looking at this set because we don't have anyone below 3.75. Is this the first set of books where majority of the female characters are smaller except for Rory? because everybody else are
Ooh,
athletes, right?
yeah.
Will, Tegan, Coach, Cole. Cole was probably more miss. No, Cole was on the smaller side, maybe a size 8'10". I
I
think
think
in unfinished business, she became more curvy because children.
my girl Sin
Sin
was
was
thick
thick. Sin was
because
Sin was thick. Yeah.
but she was like stripper thick.
Mhm.
Take that how you will.
Mhm. Mhm.
Take that how you will. She was stripper
She
thick,
was
so
she
I
was
don't.
slim thick. What we call slim
Right.
thick.
That's why I'm like she was thick, but she was stripper thick, which is she might be bottom heavy, but that's
Mhm.
about.
Mhm.
She might be like cash doll thick.
Mhm.
That's about it. But yeah, I think this might be
Cause what
some people
story?
are.
I gotta re-listen. I gotta reread Free Agent because I haven't read it since it came out in 2024. Because Free Agent came out and then we got Private Agenda.
Honey, I consumed that book so fast. I had to go back and read it again. I was like, oh, hold on, no, I like this. I really enjoyed Free Agent. I think it comes a close second. And that's crazy to say because offensive formations is right there, but it comes to a close second under determined possession for me. I'm like it for a while that an offensive formation was duking it out for what was going to come in third or second place,
Mm-hmm.
but free agent really got it for me. I'm like that's I enjoyed that story. I enjoyed the way her story arc. You see her at where people are saying she's weak. This
Mm-hmm.
is the woman in love, knowing that her relationship is over, really watching the over play out in front of her
Mm-hmm.
and having to really determine how she's going to build herself up from that. But doing so in the public eye, because even though she's not a public figure, he is. And most women get to do this behind the scenes or behind the
Mm-hmm.
clothes. She had to do this in front of the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So watching
And
that
then had to
story,
deal with her because for women, stuff like this damages their businesses. And
it
so
does.
like you also see her process there. Everybody want a house phone until the house phone interrupts. But yeah, um, but no, quite literally, um, yeah, that's where
That's
we
why I'm like,
are.
I enjoyed her story arc. I enjoyed where it started, where it ended. I enjoyed the whole thorough ride of it all. I quite literally enjoyed it. I don't know what the girlies was talking about. I can't hear, and that sign will not stop me because I cannot read. So.
I mean, yeah. So I hope y'all have enjoyed our yapping. Hello and thank you to the new subscriber. I get the notification. Hi, I hope y'all have enjoyed. Um, because we had space and time to like yap about like in depth about these books compared to the other two nights where we had like over 20 to try to get to. Um, when what's this? What Friday? Is it Friday?
Yeah,
Friday is the long night. We're gonna be prepared with snacks, baby, because we gotta go through Mahogany Heights, old heights, semi new. That is itself. If I we got about 30 something book. We have 30 something books to get through.
say a prayer for your girl. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause
Cause
I
you're gonna
really,
be fighting for your life. I am
I
not.
am, I
I am
am.
not. It's gonna be ruthless for me on my end.
Yes, cause heights are hard for me. I'm like that. I love that. I'm like, and part of it is nostalgic. Part of it is I gotta really, really buckle down and be serious about some of these responses. Cause yeah, I'm like I started on the heights. I started that. That was my first
Cause I
introduction.
okay, cause it's already gonna be like automatic. Okay, we already
Yes,
know it's gonna we already know like hostile takeover is gonna have to be 5 stars. Like I'm listen,
we
so
did.
we can get that out the way.
We did hostile takeover. That's in Blackwood.
Oh, we put it. Oh yeah, you're right. You put it, but oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Okay,
no,
okay.
no, we got but hold on, because there's some 5 stars over in Mahogany Heights.
No, no, it is. But I'm thinking because black, because House Out Takeover had like jumps in all of them. So I'm like,
It does, it does. I'm
and
like, it,
so because I was like, listen, let's go and get certified. Certain things are already gonna be like, we're not even gonna argue. Those gonna go first. Well, we automatically know it's gonna be 5 stars. We're not gonna argue about those. Like, we're not.
I got some that I want to fight about it, and I want all the smoke.
Listen,
Yeah.
and some of them be like, yeah. I'm list certain
Um,
ones I'm not gonna fight about. I'll be like,
no,
yeah.
some of them I'm like I can give or take, but again, heights. I have a real strong. I tell Christina C. Jones knows. I be telling her I'm a live there. It don't exist, but I'm a live there. Mark my words, I'm gonna live in the heights.
You know what's gonna be
Be a business.
hard for the heights? It's all them freaking novelettes.
Yes. Those
Yeah,
are quick and easy and fun. Although one of them I think is a really, really good one. That's gonna be rough.
and I'm not gonna lie to you. I still haven't read. Definitely not a thing.
I finally have gotten around to it. I've started it already.
Period. I'm gonna get there. I swear I am. I
So
swear,
we
cause
leaving.
I know it's good. I know it's
Let's
good.
determine this now. We leaving that off the list for now because
If neither one of us have read it by Friday,
okay, okay.
we can slide if we think both when we do the ultimate battle of the 4 stars and up, and if we read it by then and be like, yeah, it needs to be part of the battle, then it can be part of the battle. But
Of how we're creating this now. We're okay. Y'all heard it here first. We are gonna have a battle of the 4 stars. It's y'all just prepare for that because this is gonna be fun.
listen,
This is
the only one I can think off top that I'm gonna like be fine to be a 5 star next week is or Friday is something like love.
ooh, ooh. Okay.
Because she showed out as and I appreciate her for being like, hey, like something like love is
Oh,
probably gonna be her only foray into like LGBTQ because she can't, and I appreciate that. But she did that story so well because that's Eddie
Astrid.
and Astrid, baby.
Girl, you know I know these books.
Whoa,
Them
damn!
my favorite.
I
Cause
will fight about. I'll fight. I'll fight about
them
that.
and I can't think of the title now, and it's I always mix it up with Love Notes. It's not Love Notes. It's in
It's
tandem.
yeah.
In
Okay, so
tandem, and I will
here's the here's the
fight y'all.
thing about equilibrium in tandem. I feel like it's either they have similar covers or they kept coming out around the same time back to back.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that one's a little tricky.
I'm gonna look at those and then really, whew, I'm excited. I'm excited to do the hypes. Thank y'all for tuning in. Before we end all of this, I gotta have give a special shout out to my little sister. It's her birthday today,
Happy
so happy
birthday,
birthday! Happy
Jasmine!
birthday, Jasmine! She turns 34 today with her relatively old ass. So happy birthday, baby girl!
But yeah, so let us know your favorites out of this group of books, y'all. Um, and we will see y'all Friday with the snacks.
Yes,
And be ready to debate live with us. If you're gonna join us live in the chat, we
watch
would
her.
love because I don't know, because for some reason YouTube is not showing me in real time the chats, but join us when you can. All right, y'all. We will talk to y'all later. Bye. Night.
Bye.